to Kronos.
Hey everybody and welcome back to Screwloosegames. I'm Sack, and today's video, it went through many different forms. Hades 2 recently left early access, so I set out to do a full review of it as I did back when it released in early access. Then it became, how quickly / how few runs can I beat a run of Hades 2 in? Until eventually it became this, beating Hades 2. Now, with the game being a roguelike which can seemingly go on for and be played forever, what do I mean when I say beating it? I mean finishing the main storyline, seeing the credits roll, and then doing 2 final successful runs to see how both the game and story is going to work moving forward once we've achieved our goal. Our goal, of course, being to defeat Kronos, the Titan of Time. Now, obviously, spoilers going forward for the story of Hades 2 here, so if you are really invested in the story and want to experience it for yourself, feel free to leave now and come back later, but know this will be divided into 2 separate chapters for the 2 runs involved in the game. So how this is going to work is I'm going to be showing you abridged versions of my runs, and after I die, the next footage you see will be a subsequential run from where I died at the point in the previous run, all while explaining what has happened in the story so far and what I was going through personally at the time of playing. Otherwise, I'd end up narrating you through dozens of runs again and again with half of them ending in defeat, and that's no fun for anybody. So with all of that out of the way, let us start our journey in Hades 2 from a fresh save profile, as I don't want to be jumping into this overpowered with all I unlocked from early access. Goodbye, old save profile. Return to Shadow now.
Few tales are told of Hades, whose reign as grim lord of the dead came to a sudden end when all at once his past caught up with him. But gods do not go quietly, and history repeats. So this tale was only a matter of time.
We play as the character Melinoe, and we don't exactly know what we're doing here just yet. Melinoe is saying things to herself like death to Kronos and that she'll make that Titan pay. And after clearing our first room, we get our first of many boons from Apollo, the god of light.
In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Much like the first game, we get our power-ups through things called boons. These are offerings from the many different gods in the Greek pantheon and offer a wide range of abilities requiring you to experiment and learn what works for you and what doesn't.
A blessing from the Lord.
There's far too many of them to come across each god every night, and with them being randomized every time, you have to learn that you aren't always going to get that boon that you know works for you, and you're going to need to learn how to deal with it and mix up your playstyle every time. Besides from boons, you can get multiple types of currency which can later be used to purchase more items from the shop on your current run, or other currencies that can be used back at the camp. Hades 2, much like the first game, relies on choices. Do I get this unknown power up now and at least try it out? Or do I stick with what I know works for me but risk not getting exactly what I want? Do I go for the gold and rely on Charon the boatman having the item I want? Or do I take on another fight and risk taking more damage before even making it to the area's boss? As we make these decisions and fight our way through several rooms of Erebus, we manage to do pretty well for our first go and make it all the way to our first of many roadblocks. Our headmistress, Hecate, the Witch of the Crossroads.
You reached the edge of Erebus already. You have surpassed my expectations, Melinoe.
She tells us if we are really well and truly ready for the task at hand, then we must beat her in combat here and now, so that she knows we at least stand a chance against the enemy. Now, I'm not going to lie, Hecate is a very easy fight. She's the perfect starting off point for new players in Hades 2. But having said that, I haven't played this game in over a year now, so I'm a bit rusty, and the second she lets out her phase 2 curse turning me into a sheep, my mind instantly went blank, forgetting how to dodge, and my first run was over.
I know that you are stronger than this.
And I knew it too. I'm not going to lie, as much as you just have to accept that most of the time, the first time you play a roguelike or the first time you come back to a game after such a long time, you're not going to get that far, I knew I could do better than I did. But now that we're back in our base camp, we can get to know some of our allies and learn a bit more about the story taking place. Melinoe broods over an old painting depicting the family of Hades cradling her as a baby, implicating that whatever has happened here exactly happened back when Mel was only just a child.
Don't forget all that the Titan took from you.
With some subtle exposition done, we go through the camp meeting our various comrades with characters like Dora, our friendly shade and roommate.
You trifle with powers far beyond your comprehension, witch. That was pretty decent, right, Mel? Maybe pushing it. Calling you witch like that.
Nemesis, the harsh but firmly grounded in reality daughter of Nyx.
Already hit a wall. Knocked your scrawny ass all the way back here. It's insane that she's sending you out on foot, all on your own.
And our veteran tactician Odysseus, set on weaving epic tales of our adventures.
Tell me you killed the bastard. Drove your staff into his wretched skulls with a dagger in his gut. Not that he'd die from that. Works on mortals, though.
Oh, and Hypnos from the first game is here as well, I guess. We speak more of Hecate, who tells us that this is all just part of the plan and we mustn't get disheartened because our objective remains the same.
Death to Kronos.
Death to Kronos.
We head off to try our luck again on another run and unveil the first of our power-ups that will make future runs go a bit easier for us, the Altar and Arcana cards. These are basically passive buffs you unlock and upgrade, allowing you to make at least a starting point of a build for your runs, with things like Death Defiance essentially giving you an extra life, faster spell casting, restoring health in between each room. Every one is a game changer, but with only a limited amount you can have at any one time, once again proving that the choices you make matter. And finally, before heading off, we have one more character to meet. Commander Scalemius, our training dummy we can use to practice combat with.
The only question is, are you prepared to win? I'm not so sure here, so let's see you give me 20.
He never fights back, but he's weirdly into the beating, and it's honestly nice just seeing Skelly again if you played the first game. With all that said and done, we brace ourselves and head off to try again. We fight our way back to Hecate, but this time we're better prepared and honestly have a pretty decent set of boons, and notice the damage difference straight off the bat. I make a couple of easily avoidable mistakes still, but I'm still relearning the ropes. And then it happens, my old enemy, the Curse of Sheep. While it still gets me this time, I am able to avoid the various spells and hexes flying at me and outlast it. Then after not so long of firing casts and placing my flame-imbued warding circles, Hecate goes down and our path forward is open.
You fought with diligence and with ferocity, but surely there is more for you to learn beyond this threshold.
I look forward to it, Headmistress. What about you? Can you not join me?
No, I dare not stray too far from our abode. Continue now your task. I shall await your safe return.
Thank you, Headmistress.
Having beaten Erebus, we now enter the new biome of Oceanus, an underwater area making up the space between Poseidon's realm of the ocean and the outskirts of the underworld, where for the first, but sadly not the last time, we meet who is going to become easily the biggest roadblock for me in this entire playthrough.
Look who!
Oh no.
Eris, Strife Incarnate, who gives us what in my opinion is the worst mechanic in the game.
Have a great night. Oh, one last thing.
Blessed by Strife. Eris is basically the dev's way of making sure you don't progress through the game too quickly. If you're doing too well on your runs and haven't experienced enough of the story yet, Eris will show up and bless you with Strife. This is an enemy buff. So now going forward, all enemies I face will deal an extra 20% damage, going up by an extra 5% every single room I clear. Yes, you heard that right. Not boss, not biome, every room. Thanks a lot to all those Hades speedrunners clearing the game in a single run, guys. Now I've got to deal with this BS. Eris won't be a permanent roadblock for us, though. She's merely designed as a way of slowing you down to get more of the story, with other characters commenting on her behaviour, saying, just let her get on with it and she'll get bored eventually.
That's just lazy writing.
Anyway, we fight our way through Oceanus, Strife be damned, and really start to learn how powerful the Scorch Boons from Hestia can be. And I am really proud to say that despite the extra damage we've been receiving from Strife, now sitting at an extra 50+% of damage taken, we make it all the way to the boss room and face Scylla and the Sirens.
Oh, no way. No way. Look at Gal's a lady. Ladies never come to see our shows. You must be different. What's your name? Oh, make yourself comfy. We're just about to start, aren't we, gals?
An honestly really fun take on the concept of sirens, with them being portrayed as a female-based rock band which plays some of the most annoyingly catchy music you've ever heard. managed to get them down to phase 2, but then one mistimed dodge later, the run is dead. Back at camp, we now have access to the Cauldron, a way of further unlocking things for the game from shops, resource harvesting tools, and a few more things that would become vital to us later down the line. We then take some of the nectar we gathered on our previous run and offer it to Hecate, Dora, and Odysseus. Nectar is a resource that can be used to improve character relationships, but more importantly, the first time you give another person nectar, they will give you a keepsake in return. Yet another item you can equip, each with their own abilities to make your runs go that much smoother. Dora's Onion being the one we will be using for a while now, as it allows us to heal up to 50 points of health in total while we have it equipped. So with Onion in hand and Strife off of our backs, we now make our way down for round 3. We have a really solid fight against Hecate, and thanks to Dora's Onion, managed to get through all of the first biome at max health. Then before heading into Oceanus, a strange ghostly man is waiting for us.
Pray, who might you be, my girl? And what compelled you to wander in and out of Erebus?
After a all too short conversation, we head on down and Eris is not there, meaning this run is back on. A few rooms in, we come across our first NPC room. These are areas where there is no combat, but a different character to meet in every biome, all with their own stories, gifts and benefits they can offer you if you pay them a visit. And our first one is Nick Cage.
Well, would you look at that? Another would-be suitor journeyed far and wide just to gaze upon me. Not that I blame you, and get totally rejected. Fine. Ogle if you must.
Okay, it's not actually Nick Cage, but be honest, I had you for a second. This is Narcissus, who, if you can't already tell by his self-obsession, is where the term narcissist comes from today. And I'm not joking there. Go ahead and look that one up for yourself. Narcissus is where the term narcissism comes from. A lot of things we actually use and talk about in regular daily life do come from Greek mythology when you actually think about it. Narcissus has many shadily admirers, but is only interested in one thing: himself, his own reflection. Mistaking us for another one of his admirers he isn't interested in, he offers us gifts as a method of getting us to leave him alone. We take a health upgrade and continue on our journey until eventually we are once again face to face with the Sirens, where this time, without the blessing of Strife on our backs, things go very differently.
Quite enough of them. A pearl.
We are now in the third biome, the Fields of Mourning. Unfortunately at this point, I know I'm doing too well, you know I'm doing too well, so who do we run into?
Got here first.
We take a deep breath and head into one of the more interesting areas Hades 2 has to offer. You see, the Mourning Fields are semi-open world. Now, what do I mean by semi-open world? Each room of this area, instead of just having one room of enemies you have to clear and then claiming a reward, they have several groups of enemies free roaming around the space with multiple boons and power-ups you need to unlock to clear the room, only able to obtain them by defeating new waves of enemies every time you actually find one of them. There will be an incantation at the Cauldron we can use later on to make navigating these vast fields seem a bit more bearable, but for now, we just have to keep blindly exploring and hope that we can find our way through. Which we not only managed to do, but also managed to make our way to the area boss, with Death Defiance still in tow. Could I actually have a shot of beating this next boss, Strife and all?
Hello?
The Infernal Beast, the goodest three-headed boy from the first game, Cerberus, but now covered in corruption and despair from the Mourning Fields. Now, this guy was a major roadblock for me back in early access, so I already knew that I had little to no chance here. Before even getting him down to half health, my Death Defiance was spent, and my health almost depleted. At this point, I am one shot away from returning to Shadow, but then something happened. It was almost like a switch went off in my head, and I remembered how to play the game. This wasn't where my run was going to end. I was determined. I could beat him. I can beat him. I will beat him. I locked in. I gave it my all. And before I knew it...
Spirits of despair, be gone. it's really you.
Having shed its coat of torment, the soul-devouring infernal beast beyond the gates of Tartarus reveals that it is not the monster it appeared, but one more infamously vicious still.
No, wait, stay.
I had done it. With Strife weighing me down, I managed to beat Biome 3 on my third run and make it to the end. We dropped down below into the entrance to Hell, cast a spell unsealing the gate.
Now, on my authority as Princess of the Underworld, unseal.
And enter Tartarus, the underworld. Once the proud, nicely decalled House of Hades, now taken over by the Titan of Time, Kronos, with various clocks, gears, and the sands of time all over the place. Now, as gassed as I had made it this far. My Strife is currently having the enemies deal around 70+% in extra damage to me, so I really wasn't surprised I only made it to the second room.
Return to Shadow now.
Only this time when I died, I didn't go back to the crossroads right away.
How long has it been? 3, 2, 1.
It is the dead of night within a haunted, barely moonlit thicket at the underworld's edge. There, a young forsaken princess hunts her prey.
Ready or not, hence I go.
We are transported back to a memory of Melinoe as a child, playing hide and seek with a casual bit of Deadpool-esque fourth wall breaking.
Suggesting that her foe trod through this dusty ground not very long before.
Shush, Homer. How shall I ever catch her if you're going to describe my every move?
I've no idea to whom you refer.
This game is Hecate getting young Melinoe ready to train in her hunt for Kronos, culminating in Hecate telling the young Mel that it's okay to cry sometimes when she asks her why she's crying.
Do not make promises you cannot keep. When tears well up, let them spill forth. They're not so precious that they need be contained.
And with young Melinoe telling the headmistress that she doesn't cry because she's strong, promising one day she's going to find Kronos and Hecate can hear her mother's laugh again. As much as I dislike the strife mechanic in the game, it's moments like these where you get it. It makes you see why the devs implemented it the way they did. I mean, scenes and moments like this, they just wouldn't hit you the same way if you'd already beaten Kronos at this point. Having finished our trip through memory lane, we cast 2 spells, one which will make finding our way through the morning fields easier, and another beseeching the three fates to help us now in our time of need.
O daughters of night, who can see all tomorrows, please help me avenge both our family's sorrows. Nothing. They didn't listen.
Only to get no response. We unlock a few more cards for our passive build and attempt round 4, knowing that we can make it all the way to the end. While we do once again make it all the way to Tartarus, we also once again run into our least favourite child of Nyx at the beginning of the morning fields.
My work here's done.
At this point, we don't care. We know that we can make it, strife be damned. We lock in and start to fight our way through. But once we reach the second room of Tartarus, we find this.
It can't be. Cerberus.
Hades, our father, in chains, and Cerberus returned to his best boy form by his side, sadly refusing to let us pet him.
Stay back. Got it.
After a lifetime of not knowing him, a lifetime of training to free him, it's time for Melinoe to meet her dad.
Lord Hades, you're my father. I'm Melinoe. I'm your daughter.
My daughter, Melinoe. Merciful fates. You cannot be here. He shall find you. He'll find you and...
I'll slay him where he stands. Where is he?
Having played the first game so many times and knowing the journey Hades himself has gone on as a father, seeing him so concerned for Melinoe really did bring a bit of a tear to my eye, man. He offers us a gift to make our journey that much easier, but I'll be honest, Dad, none of these are that great. I mean, what the hell? You never gave Zagreus crap like this!
This is why Mom doesn't fucking love you!
We continue to lock in, knowing that Strife has built up so much now that even a single hit will probably take out the majority of our health bar. But somehow, some way, be it by sheer determination or mercy of the gods themselves, we make it. Our palms are sweaty, knees weak, and wallets are heavy, so we buy out the entirety of Karen's shop, knowing that the odds are very much against us here. We cast a spell to unlock the gates and face our foe. But it doesn't work.
Arden. Won't open. How about...
Thinking on her fiery feet, Malinue then dives into the sand to swim under and emerge into the House of Hades, mirroring how Zagreus would return at the end of his runs in the first game. And there he stands, the Titan of Time himself, Kronos. And after finally confronting the man that took everything from us, realising he was in fact the old man we spoke to earlier, we waste no time.
Hear me, you enemy of night and darkness now. For your transgressions you shall imminently die. Under chthonic doctrine this I vow, for there is no escape from fate beneath the sky.
Manners. Cursing is forbidden in this house. By that token, fighting is forbidden as well. But for you, my girl, we shall have to make an exception. Time for you to go. Behold.
Death to Kronos!
Now, we see how much damage I'm doing to Kronos here. Given our Strife is sitting at around the 90% damage increase mark right now, how much damage am I taking exactly?
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meme.
Sweet Zeus's beard! Now, I was playing really well up until then, but seeing just how much damage that one attack did to me, it honestly made me choke a little, guys, and then my Death Defiance was gone. Then the attack that took it from me shook me so much that I saw it coming again, and I forgot how to dodge. And the next thing I know...
No. Time takes all. An inevitable outcome. Nothing more.
Found you at last.
This time upon defeat, we are visited by the emissary of the Three Fates, Moros, Doom Incarnate, proving that our spell to contact the Fates did in fact work.
You're Lord Moros, emissary of the Three Fates. So your sisters heard me after all?
They expected me to find you, for there's something they intend for you to have. Wherever you're going, look for it when you arrive. I'm uncertain if we'll meet again. Farewell. It's been an honor.
Wait.
Now, when we arrive at camp, the Prophecy of Fate has arrived, something we can use to not exactly track our progress, but see what we are yet to do to fulfill certain prophecies. We inform Headmistress Hecate that we had in fact reached Kronos in the House of Hades, but were unable to defeat him. Unlike us though, Hecate doesn't see this as failure, but progress.
This is an excellent result. You are still here, having learned more of what it takes to reach our enemy and what he can do to resist. Do you feel ready to continue your pursuit?
Yes. If I can reach him, I can take him.
We've already made it this far already, and we aren't disheartened yet, so we need to go out there and try again.
Ready or not, hence I go.
Now, I wish I could say I went out there and destroyed Kronos on my 5th run, or even my 6th run. But every single time for the next few runs, I'd arrive at Tartarus convinced this was the time I'd managed to do it, and she was always there waiting for me. Strife followed me. Every single time. At the end of my 7th run, we ran into Moros again, only this time he followed us back to camp where we could speak to him in person, giving us his condolences that such a Herculean task falls to us alone. But after I'm done speaking with him, I've got a brick wall I need to hit my head against for a little while, and that brick wall's name is Strife.
You don't look so happy to see me, babe. And I haven't even done anything yet.
Each and every time making it to Kronos, but never quite managing to take him all the way with the extra damage that I'm being dealt. And at this point, it's very clear that I'm just getting tilted and I don't know what to do anymore. My 8th run was really close. I managed to get him all the way to phase 2, even with Strife on my back. I was getting closer. I was getting better, but at this point, it's almost like Kronos was mocking and talking to me directly, not Mel.
You could have done better than that.
For my 8th run reward, I get another flashback. Only this time not from the perspective of young Melinoe, but the Lord of the Underworld himself, Hades. With him giving his daughter away to Hecate, making her promise that no harm is ever going to come to her.
And take care of her. For all of us.
No harm shall come to young Melinoe, my lord. In this, at least, I shall not fail you. Farewell.
As Lord Hades makes his way through his house, he finds all of his friends, family and subjects encased in bubbles of time, until eventually coming face to face with his father, Kronos.
There you are, my son. Grown a full beard and a broad frame, I see. And now you have a family of your own. How full of life they are, despite the dour environs.
Yep, you heard that right. Kronos, the Titan of Time, is Hades' father, making him our target, our grandfather. Kronos taunts Hades about the time he and the Olympians cut him up and scattered his body parts around Tartarus, and how this right now is his revenge, to imprison everyone Hades cares about and leave them frozen in time while Hades himself remains a prisoner, witnessing everything. And he makes only one command to the god of the underworld.
You have grown so accustomed to issuing commands that you forget yourself. Though I do have such a command for you, tell me exactly where the Fates reside.
The Fates? How should I know? Not even Nyx herself knows where her daughters are. Why are you asking me?
We disclose what we have learned from the dream to Moros, and once again take comfort from the kind words of Hecate and Odysseus, and right now, I've got a feeling, surely this is the run. Surely that was the flashback I needed. I've seen enough of the story at this point that I can get there without strife and make this my 9th attempt the one. We then go on to have what is arguably the best run yet. I've learned the game well now, so well that I'm still wearing armour I picked up in Biome 1 from my spider friend Arachne. I get to the entrance of Tartarus and she's not here. Eris is gone. This is it. This is the one. I will do this. Dad gives us an amazing power-up, which will make Kronos summon 50% less guards in the final fight, which were proving to be a real pain. We make it to Charon's shop, top up our armour and boons, take a deep breath, and dive. We get an achievement for making it to Kronos in one of Arachne's outfits, something that I didn't even know was a thing, and there he stands, fully aware Hades has meddled in getting rid of some of his guards, and what should be Melinoe's final fight begins. And I gotta say guys, I played so well here. I took down all of Phase 1, only taking 2 hits the entire time, and retaining the majority of my armour.
So, you possess some of your father's strength. Or rather, mine.
I had done this enough now that I knew his patterns. I knew where to stand, except for that one stupid blade attack. He started summoning minions that healed him, a new power I hadn't seen when I played it against him in early access. He once again hits me with the blade, and there goes my armour, but I didn't need it anymore. I was locked in so hard to this fight that I can proudly say the first time I beat Kronos in the full release of Hades 2, I still had 100% of my health left. I mean, does that count as a hitless, guys? I mean, technically it was my armour that got hit, not me. Well, whether it counted or not, it didn't matter. I had won. Or had I?
What is death to the deathless? A mere nuisance. This house is mine. Once I am gone, you shall be cast away.
I expect so. And you'll be remade and back on the throne before I can return. But I shall return, and I'll slay you again and again and again if I must.
Time cannot stopped.
Our journey in Hades 2 was only just beginning.
Suffer in darkness.
We collect the sand left behind from the defeated Titan and make our way to Zagreus' bedroom. Here on out, this was all brand new to me. We go to sleep and enter a Doctor Strange-like astral plane where we can travel through time via the subconscious world of dreams using the Mirror of Night.
Night and darkness, guide me to my blood beyond the grasp of time. The mists of memory.
By doing this, we are able to communicate with our brother Zagreus before any of this ever happened, before Melinoe was even born. We tell him that for our plan to work, he has to be the one to kill Kronos, but in his time, before he's returned to his full strength. Zagreus isn't 100% sure if he can believe what's happening right now, but Melinoe assures him she will defeat him again and return to him with more of a plan soon. And it's just then that Kronos starts to come back from time, and we must end our conversation there or else be discovered. But I had done it. It took 9 runs, which I'm confident could have been cut down by a third if it were not for Eris, but it didn't matter anymore. I'd beaten him. Eris was gone, and now all we had to do was do it again. First off, we inform our comrades of our victory and report to Headmistress Hecate, informing her that the plan worked, but that we were unable to stay for too long talking to Zagreus due to Kronos' return. She simply tells us that next time, we need to think about talking quicker, and that in training grounds, something is waiting for us. The Oath of the Unseen. Now, for anyone who played Hades 1, the Oath of the Unseen is essentially just the Pact of Punishment again. And for those who don't know what that is, this is essentially hard mode, or rather, make it as difficult as you feel comfortable mode, allowing you to make your run more difficult by selecting things like enemies having more health, dealing more damage, or having shields, or blocking X amounts of instances of damage in general. It's challenge running, basically. But we aren't here for challenge runs right now, we're here to beat the game. And our next run, 5 minutes quicker. Good job, Sack. Good job. We continue the cycle of repetition in killing and defeating Kronos and returning to Zagreus, and after 5 times we determined that the only way to truly kill him is by having access to a weapon both Melinoe and Zagreus can use in both their times. Gargaros, the Spear of Hades. Zagreus says he will work on getting the spear from Hades in secret and leave it by his bedchambers so Melinoe can collect it herself and bring it back to him when the proper enchantment is laid on it.
We're counting on you, brother.
Now, we still technically need to take down Kronos one more time in order to get all the sand we need for the ending, but at this point, I want something new. So I get to work on what is the second half of this game, Run 2. You heard me right, this game has 2 separate runs for you to do, and this one, I barely touched in early access. When I played it, Eris was the final boss, and after I beat her I said, cool, I'm done, and I'll not be touching the game again until the full release. Now, Run 2 consists of assisting our family in the heavens. We've heard that Kronos is simultaneously attacking the mountain home of the gods while maintaining his control of hell. So if we're truly to bring him down, we're essentially going to have to take him down on 2 separate fronts. There's just one problem with this though. The run is on the surface world, and due to the Hades family curse, we can't survive on the surface world. So after doing a suicide run or 2 for the sake of getting earthly resources for a spell to break the curse, we can actually begin working towards Run 2. Now, this may be mostly new to me, but I'm feeling confident. I'm stronger now, I've got better gear, and I feel I've really got to grips with the game at this point. We break into the city of Ephira, which sort of works like the Morning Fields. There's a dozen doors, each containing a pylon you need to destroy to clear the way and collect each door's reward. The only problem being, once the barrier's down, every other door is locked off. So you need to choose which rewards you're sacrificing. More often than not for me, there was enough bad options that I never really struggled, but there was definitely a couple of occasions where, even now I'm still conflicted whether I made the right choice or not. For a first run, we comfortably clear the city, making our way to the first boss of the new area, the Cyclops Polyphemus.
You frighten my sheep. That's a real no-no in this town.
I apologize for my transgression, Cyclops. What do I owe you for the inconvenience? I can pay.
Oh, you pay. The punishment's getting eaten alive by me. Sorry, I don't make the rules.
Much like Hecate, he's a good first boss. He isn't difficult, and I would end my time with this game having never actually lost to him. But he's also a boss that can punish you for being sloppy, with his moves being incredibly easy to read, but if you find yourself getting too comfortable and getting hit, where he doesn't hit much, he does hit hard. After defeating One-Eyed Willy quite easily and taking his treasure of wool,
Some wool.
we make our way to the docks where we can see a ghostly armada sailing across the sea making their way for Olympus. We board the armada, travelling ship to ship, taking out one crew at a time by way of spectral gates. And while I'm still feeling confident, these are essentially whole new enemies and areas for me to learn, and I find myself losing my armour quite quickly in the first room. Nevertheless, I persevere and eventually make my way to the second boss, Charybdis, the sea monster of... Oh, wait a second, what is this? Isn't Charybdis?
Hey, sailor. What a coincidence running into you like this so far away from home. Where are you headed? Maybe I could give you a lift.
So it turns out the sea monster has been removed as a main boss from when I last played, and we go straight off to fighting Eris. This, guys, this right here. I knew this fight was coming eventually, and I have been waiting over a dozen hours for this now. I may not remember much of the surface run, but I remembered this fight. I give Eris, Strife Incarnate, the beatdown I've been wanting to give her this entire game so far. No Death Defiance, above half health, and much like the Cyclops, she would remain as a boss I never lose to.
How could you be so cruel?
You started it. Golden apple.
Now let's go to Olympus, baby. Everything going forward for me here was brand new.
All set.
At the foot of the mountain, we can already see the automatons fighting off the forces of Kronos, but something isn't right. The defense automatons are attacking us as well. We have to fight the forces of heaven and time both at once. This is going to be harder than I thought it was, but I still had hope we could do this. Then on the third room, I randomly get attacked by this stupid eagle. No idea what that was about. It wouldn't even let me attack it, so Athena only knows what the hell that was.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Side note here, I really like how when you entered a new area via jump pad, if you were quick, you could decide where you land and take out enemies quicker. Really nice way of taking out the guys that you just can't get a read on. It was on the 4th floor that I met my first god face to face, Athena, the goddess of wisdom, who came in like an absolute boss, taking out every enemy in the level at once. It was then she offered me the greatest boon I have ever seen, Stalwart Stand, a death defiance that regenerated at the start of every room. Every room I go through here on out for the rest of this run, I get one free death. I never felt more like I could first try an entire run of a game like this than I did right now. I was feeling so confident that I ignored the easy room and took on the mini-boss instead straight away. And I won without even using the Death Defiance. And then in the next room knowing, hey, yeah, I'm low on health, but it doesn't matter. I got a free do-over, bitch, nothing can touch me. I eventually made it to the summit, where in a very cute touch, Charon was unable to get here due to there being no river to travel on, so had a cardboard cutout made saying I could buy things via the honor system. Nice little touch there, guys. And I was ready. I had a good build, decent health, 4 Death Defiances in tow, but I had no idea what was waiting beyond this gate.
Stop right there. Ah, here comes the unexpected wrinkle in my master's plan. I know who you are, lost daughter of Hades, and I know that you know who I am. I had a premonition of this very moment.
Lord Prometheus, I presume. You must have premonitions all the time. I'd not heard you were liberated, or that Kronos is the master you serve. Solidarity between titans, then?
Prometheus, who, I'm not going to lie, I don't remember being a titan from Greek mythology in school. I just remember him as the guy who stole fire from the gods to give to humanity, and as punishment was chained to a rock to have an eagle eat his liver, which would grow back every day. But hey, wait a minute, the eagle. Then on the third room, I randomly get attacked by this stupid eagle. That bitch-ass bird was yours? Oh man, I'm gonna kick your ass. This fight was completely new to me. I didn't know any of his moves and lost my free defiance pretty quickly, but it didn't matter. I also managed to get him down to a quarter of his health in that time. I saw the map earlier. I saw Olympus is the final area, and this was the boss fight. I could beat the game here and now. I started to learn his moves. His summons, all would fall to me one by one. His heavy attacks, I could take them. I was at the finish line after all, and just like that, it was over. I had won first time, and just like the other two bosses, I find myself never losing to Prometheus. Man, I thought people said the surface run was the hard run in the game. But what happens now anyway? I leave the boss arena and there's still fountains. Wait, there's more of Olympus? The game played me like a goddamn fiddle and made it so I couldn't see there was a fourth area. Who even does that? Why would you hide something like that from your players? And this next area, the entire run, absolute nightmare fuel. Monsters left, right and centre, 2 mandatory mini-bosses, one of which was so intimidating it may as well have been a main boss in a lesser area. To say I was tilted right now would be an understatement. I fought as hard as I could, guys. I well and truly did. And I can honestly say on my first ever surface run, with half of this being completely new to me, I had made it to the mountaintop, the summit of Olympus, but I was broken, beaten, scarred. My 4 death defiances, down to my 1 single one from Athena. My health, non-existent to the level it should be. We speak to the god of swiftness, Hermes, who explains to us that the assault on Olympus, all of the monsters we fought here towards the summit, are because of Typhon, the father of all monsters, and he is the one thing standing between us and victory. We walk through the gates, not knowing what to expect, and oh sweet Ares, what is that thing? Before the fight even began, Typhon hit its health bar. Much like the devs kept this entire area invisible on the map, Typhon is keeping his health a secret. I clashed with him on the mountaintop, not knowing what the hell any of his moves were. There was so much going on in the screen I could barely concentrate. He spawned in eggs that summoned shielded minions. I took them out as quick as I could and continued to fight him. And just when I was finding the flow of the fight, the unimaginable happened. My controller died. If anything was going to throw me off the edge right now, this was it. I grabbed my spare controller to continue the fight, but instantly got hit. And it was then the gods smiled on me.
Everyone lend me your strength. Now, young lady, finish this.
Is this phase 2? I still have my Death Defiance left. I can do this. I can actually do this whole thing first try. I did my best to stay in his face while avoiding his attacks, but then more eggs. And they couldn't have been worse. I did my best to clean them up so I could focus on the main target, but before I knew it, I was so close, and I know I was. Back at camp, we find Eris and ask her what the hell her problem is.
You traitor. How dare you stand against me and our cause? And of all the nerve to show your face again here, you'll be cast out for what you've done.
Sorry, babe, but I'm not going anywhere. Thank Nyx and Hecate and their unbreakable oaths. Besides, you got me all wrong.
And then get a bit of an unjust scolding from Hecate for fighting Typhon.
The thin air upon that mountain made you mad, Malinoe. Confronting Typhon of all creatures face to face. Hermes told me everything, save what was going through your head.
I was not about to turn my back on my family, especially not after having come so far. What should I have done? Flee at the first sight of that monster? We flee only as a last resort.
But I know I can do this. I know I am ready. I just need the gods to smile upon me one more time and give me the right build now that I know Prometheus isn't the end. I upgrade my Arcana as best I can, plan the setup I need to take down Typhon, and I go again. And I would continue to go again. And again once more after that. All in all, I failed my next 3 runs, each time getting to what I can only assume is Typhon's final phase due to not seeing a health bar I don't know, but getting past Zeus's appearance and him doing his second egg summon, I can only assume that that's the end. And I was not going to stop playing until I took this bastard down. It was my 4th attempt now. I still hadn't got my head around all of his moves, but I was confident in the damage I was doing, but most importantly, I made a discovery on this run. And that is that the summons Selene can give you in this game are freaking OP broken, my guys. Just look at the damage! This was it, the final stretch. Just a girl, a ghostly summon, and the strength of the gods behind her. And just like Kronos before him, Typhon was finally vanquished.
Fall, you monster.
We continue our climb and pass through the Ether Gate.
To all my family on the mountain, let me pass.
And then we finally see it. The Palace of Zeus and the sun for the first time in Melanoe's whole life.
It's daybreak.
As we make our way into the palace, we see statues, monuments of the gods that helped us on our journey. Until for the very first time in the flesh, we meet the King and Queen of Olympus, King Zeus and Queen Hera, where they congratulate us on our victory against Typhon and compel us to finish our journey in defeating Kronos. We then make contact with Hecate at the crossroads via Boon with the help of our cousin Apollo.
In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message. Melanoe, if you can even hear me yonder, I bid you to return. We have matters to discuss.
I have to go now, everyone. Please, take care. And let the others know I'm sorry to have missed them. I'll return. Return to Shadow now.
We arrive back at camp where Hecate requests a specimen of Typhon to study, and we give her one of his eyes.
Like hideous eyes, headmistress. Is there an incantation that you have in mind requiring such filth?
We are one step closer to ridding the world of not only Kronos, but Typhon for good. Nemesis is unimpressed as always.
He deserves his vengeance if ever you want to feel any worse about that whole mess.
And Odysseus is just disappointed we couldn't tell a better story about our battle with the father of all monsters.
So, how did you outsmart him?
Outsmart him? All I could do was keep hitting him with all my might. It helped that Lord Zeus also struck him hard with lightning bolts. Eventually it worked, and Typhon fell.
Well, your battle prowess may be unsurpassed, but your ability to weave a yarn is not quite there. When next you overcome the father of all monsters, do make of it a much more rousing tale, would you?
It's at this point we finally unlock the tavern, not something that particularly does anything, but something I unlocked way sooner in early access, which gave me yet another confidence boost that I'm making good progress. And right now, there's really only one thing we can do going forward, and that's to take on Typhon again. We go back and proceed to kick Typhon's ass not once, not twice, but 3 more times, after the third of which we finally learn how to tell a more exciting version of the story to our friend Odysseus.
We fought. I prevailed. Oh, blast. I was supposed to weave a yarn. He kept trying to crush me with his chin, but I evaded and clambered to the top of his head, where I drove the sister blades Limb and Oros into his brain.
Oh, quite gruesome at the end there, I like it. My only criticism, if I may, is that all too many tales involving huge monstrosities resolve that way. What if he were to swallow you whole, only for you to cut yourself out of his gullet?
I was just getting to that part.
After taking Typhon down a total of 4 times, we have one more thing to do before reaching the finish line, and that's to take down Kronos a 6th time, and after taking on Typhon 4 times in a row, Kronos was an absolute walk in the park. It's almost scary how what was such a roadblock for me early on is now so easy that I wonder if I can actually take him down with Strife. Maybe another future video. But after taking him down, we see that Zagreus has obtained the Spear of Gygaros and left it waiting for Melanoe in the bedchambers as he said he would. We tell him of the plan and how what he does in his time does indeed affect the timeline that Melanoe is currently living in, though Zagreus raises a very good point.
Tell me something. Let's say I go destroy the Titan Kronos as we planned. What happens to you? You're here because of everything he did. but the past will have changed your present.
No. If Kronos hadn't taken Father's throne, we'd be together as a family. He denied me a father, a mother, a three-headed dog. You. And some evening he'll deny you that and more if you don't do exactly as I ask.
Matt, time travel hurts my head sometimes. We return to the crossroads where we are now ready to conduct the spell Disintegration of Monstrosity, killing Typhon once and for good, giving us the chance to earn entropy, the final ingredient to unalive Kronos permanently.
Now say the words. Your rage monster shall spill from you like blood, your life force all consumed within that flood.
Wield that power at the summit.
We also unlock a spell allowing our frog Phrenos to join us on runs now, and I'm not entirely sure what benefit a frog is going to bring us, but yay, frog friend! So this is it. The end is here. All we have to do is take down Typhon and Kronos one more time. Once more we fight our way to the summit of Mount Olympus, but something's different this time. The boons and the buffs that I got really aren't that great. This is a very strange build for me, with none of the key abilities I'd normally go out of my way for. Have I been forsaken? Have the gods abandoned me? Right here on the verge of my victory? It matters not. All that matters is the mission. One girl and her emotional support frog against the father of all monsters. I fight as hard as I can. I see Zeus. I see the final wave of eggs. I can't destroy them in time, and they're the same monsters that killed me on my first run. Come on, Sack, you can do this. I pay too much attention to dealing damage and lose my second Death Defiance. Come on, Sack, just keep hitting that DPS. Boom. A third Death Defiance now gone. I continue to push forward, losing a fourth Defiance. Come on, just die already. Will you just die? And just when it looks like I'm about to lose my fifth and final Defiance. I done it. I won. You can see from the victory screen that was my longest run yet, and with the power-ups I was dealing with, it was a real struggle. But I had won. Entropy, the final ingredient needed to kill time itself, was now mine.
Thank you, Zagreus. Kykaros.
We tell the king and queen of the gods that this truly is the end, and Typhon is dead for good. We say our goodbyes to both them and Demeter, our grandmother. Return home to our comrades where they are in as much disbelief as I am that Typhon is perma-dead, and ready ourselves for what will be the final run of the game, the final assault on Kronos. We start our run as we would any other, make our way through to fight Hecate, and oh my god!
No, granddaughter.
No.
It seems the pathways into Erebus are not as well protected as they used to be. I take it this here's the individual who pitted you against me, is this not?
Headmistress! Headmistress, fight him! Fight! Fight back!
This headmistress of yours has considerable knowledge to have thus concealed you. But she is weary. Since that time caught up with her at last, she hears not a word you say.
Kronos has found us and he's taken hold of Hecate. Holy shit, what does this even mean for future runs? What if I fail? How is the game going to work going forward? I push on, nervous, afraid. Is anything else going to change? I make my way through Oceanus. No change here. Fight through the morning fields. Nothing. Everything remains the same. Everything, except for one thing. Unlike my last run against Typhon, this time, the gods are truly with me.
A blessing from the Lord.
I have one of the cleanest runs of my entire playthrough. Every boon, power-up, item, everything I could ever ask for, I get. But even with the confidence of Olympus behind me, I can't help but find myself nervously echoing Mel's sentience as we enter Tartarus.
I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this.
We fight like we've never fought before. We have a Titan-sized health bar and armor to match. Boons from Hephaestus letting us deal close to 1,000 damage on a regular basis. But we're playing like we did with Strife. Conservative, reserved. This has to be the run. This needs to be the run. We can't afford to face Kronos with any less than 100%. And after navigating the ever-shifting chambers of the underworld, we've made it. For the last time, we buy out what we can of Charon's shop. And once more, the gods smile upon us, giving us another boon from Hephaestus the blacksmith. This is it. Everything we've worked towards has led to this moment.
Where is she?
Where are they? What did you call that old witch whom you seem to care about so much? Your headmistress? Tell me now exactly who she is, if you yet value her well-being in the least.
She was my mother's handmaiden, nothing more. When you attacked my father's house, she took me away. When I came of age, I vowed to stop you, despite her efforts to dissuade me. Let her go.
At first I thought perhaps that you were a child of Zeus rather than Hades. But you are a terrible liar, granddaughter. You shall suffer for your actions, or the handmaiden shall do so in your stead.
We know this fight, and we know it well, but this time, it feels personal. We've been fighting for Mel's family the entire game, but now we're fighting for more than that. We're fighting for Hecate, the one that's been with us since the beginning. I fight fast, I fight aggressive, I fight sloppy. I don't care about taking damage because I know I can take the hits. Right now, all I care about is hitting Kronos in his stupid kitsune face. At the start of Phase 2, I don't even care about getting hit by his time bubbles. I'm going all out. He summons his minions. They fall. He attacks me head on. I fight right through it, until eventually the inevitable happens. Kronos falls to me one final time.
Again you lay me low, and again you waste your time. I know what it is you seek.
Shut up and die, Titan. And know these moments as you writhe shall be your last. Mere void awaits.
You truly think the Mirror of Night shall grant you such power? Nyx holds no sway here any longer. You shall see. The time cannot be stopped.
We've done it. Our final run to clear the game, and our best run yet. We go to Zagreus in the World of Dream once more. We give the now enchanted Gygaros to Zagreus.
Gygaros, it's grown hot to the touch, but feels much lighter than before as well. I suppose I should be careful not to prod somebody with it, besides Kronos.
We travel to Zagreus' timeline where we can see Kronos trying to muster his power before being confronted by our main man Zagreus, who, against Melinoe's wishes, talks to him.
What now? What is all that infernal racket? Silence, fools, lest you be caught. Dodge! Dodge! Dodge!
Oh, hello.
Who goes there? You lack the clothing of the satyrs hooves, and have a countenance which I know not.
You must be grandfather. I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I'm called Zagreus. I got a tip about your quite suspicious cabin here and had to go take a look. What are you doing here, if I may ask?
He gives the Titan of Time an ultimatum. He can either end his crusade against their family here and now, to be the grandfather he never got the chance to be, or Zagreus can kill him where he stands. But just when it seems like Kronos has made his choice rather to die than submit...
Severin, a future with such grandchildren as you, or the eternal void. How can I possibly decide?
That's it, I'm stabbing you.
Wait. All this time, for naught. Perhaps the fates themselves always knew my plans would be undone again. 3, 2, 1. Ready or not, hence I go.
We are transported to what seems to be the past, but it's different. We play as Kronos playing hide and seek with a young Melinoe inside the House of Hades, being the grandfather he never got to be with no one loving him more than her, young Melinoe.
If I defy him, I get cut to little bite-sized bits, which then are sprinkled throughout Tartarus.
Ew. Well, if Father ever does that, I shall simply go find all the bits and put you back together again.
Spoken with the generosity of youth. You are the only one around here who would say such things, Millenoi.
Mel then wakes up to find Hecate ready to kill Kronos on his knees, begging for death. Only Kronos holds the memories of what could have been, with Mel and Hecate having no idea what's going on. Kronos summons Hades, Zagreus and Persephone to explain everything. After releasing our mum and brother from their time bubbles, Zagreus reveals he asked Kronos to stand down in his own time and also has the memories of the other life. Like all great tales in Greek mythology, it all boils down to a family drama. The sons wronged the father, the grandfather then wronged the family, the daughter sought revenge, the brother found another path leading to conflict between the siblings, only for the dad to once again step in and tell everyone to stop fighting.
Enough! No fighting is permitted in this blasted house. Especially not between the two of you. Do you intend to wind up old and wretched and wrathful like him? Like me?
Millenoi says Kronos can get forgiveness by giving the family back the time that was taken from them. But Kronos reveals he's not able to do this. He's old now, and he can only move forward, but will help the family build anew.
Then be so kind as to get these chains off me so we can get to work.
And so the Princess of the Dead remained in the House of Hades with the Titan of Time and the rest, to aid in the recovery of however much was not forever lost. The rightful underworld king and queen were swift to organize this relatively painless task, and shades of the dead still loyal to their cause answered the call. They and the Titan picked up many pieces of the past. And soon, the house grew more like how it used to be. But then, a summons from Olympus arrived, and the princess knew her stay had reached its end.
Well, this is it.
Hey. Well, I think we can fix up the rest of this place on our own. Thank you for all your help. Especially the part where you liberated us from our temporal prisons and whatnot.
Believe me, I had nothing better to do. Anyhow, we'll have to find a way to cross paths out there. And each keep an eye on Kronos as we tie up some loose ends.
You're not still angry with me, are you? For, you know, not murdering our grandfather in an utterly defenseless state? I wish you could remember growing up with him. You got on rather well. He made you laugh more than I did.
In this dream past only you and he recall, I'm still uncertain how to feel about this possibility of a more pleasant life. Right now, I'd simply settle for a calmer one.
You don't seem like the settling sort. Anyway, I know this isn't goodbye, and we'll be seeing each other. Though, still, I'll miss you, little sister. And do send Hypnos back if he can't wake up on his own.
He'll wake up. I'm going to miss you too, big brother. Take care of everyone, all right?
I will. You take care too.
Now we have a new mission. In order to keep the things the way they are here and now, Millenoi must travel through various timelines, wiping out the possibility of both Kronos and Typhon being evil. Continuing the game indefinitely with an infinite number of possibilities in different timelines of Kronos going on his warpath of revenge, but knowing that we have indeed saved our timeline, our family, and right here and now, we've set right the wrongdoings of the past. Millenoi, Hecate and Kronos head for Olympus, where a now rehabilitated Kronos is set to stand trial before the gods of Olympus for his crimes. They're taking on the chariot of the goddess of the moon, Selene, but none of this before finally getting to pet the goodest boy in all of hell, of course. Yes! Finally! And that was my adventure in Hades 2. And let me just say, if you've watched this whole thing, well, give yourself a round of applause, guys. You're absolute titans. Hades 2, in my opinion, exceeds the first game in every aspect, with the exception of the ending. Now, while I still liked the ending here in Hades 2, if we're comparing it to the original, that one had a much better way of continuing the game indefinitely. Now, I understand with the story this game is telling, being able to wrap everything up in a nice bow without a "and they all lived happily ever after." style ending is much easier said than done, but regardless of my opinion on the ending, from start to finish I thoroughly enjoyed every second with this game, and do plan on bringing you some more of it, maybe a bit sooner than you might think. I said in my review for Early Access I wanted to give it a 5 out of 5, but settled on a 4 as being Early Access. I wanted to wait for the full release to see if they actually stuck the landing, and all in all, yes. I do believe Supergiant Games have once again stuck the landing and made a game that in 9 out of 10 fields surpassed the original. So yes, call this a playthrough, call it a story time, call it whatever you want, but just know I am definitively giving the full release of Hades 2 a 5 out of 5. Anyway, I've been Sack. Thank you so much for watching what has easily been one of the biggest videos we here at Screwloosegames have ever done. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see all of you lot in the next one. Cheers, guys.